Isekai is one of those genres which has slowly come to dominate the sphere, though in more recent years we've seen a notable downtrend in traditional isekai and more gimmick isekai. Looking at you, I'm a fucking vending machine isekai. However, that's Japan, land of the odd and mysterious. We're not allowed to have nice things here, so instead I invite you to Die! No, not like that, Mr. Bond. Instead, Die, the British comic book series written by one of the guys who made Rock, Paper, Shotgun. To get this out of the way, I need to explain the lore a bit. Don't worry, this is, well, not really simple at all. According to a man in a jar, a group of teens are sucked into a game their GM had them play. They fight another GM inside the game's world and all of them make it home, except their GM. He's stuck in there. The players made it back, but only after like a year or two, and everything was horribly traumatized by it all. Fast forward to 2019, where all the players still hate being alive, but one of them finds a clue that their GM is still alive in the nightmare world. They all get sucked back in, and it's equally horrible as before. Adventure ho! Though they would similarly clarify later that the ending missed the mark a bit, as there's a time loop involved, and the main antagonistic force of binary code fairies may have caused or been empowered by COVID-19, which hit during the comic's development. But we don't care about that, as they made an RPG. Die, the RPG, is based on the comic itself, taking place in one of the infinite canon realities happening all at once. The world has 20 faces, and you want to get home, but what is this game? It's a D6 dice pool with one of the more alien resolution mechanics I've seen. You're going to take a number of D6s equal to your attributes, sitting at a 2 or 3 when you first create it, and then you're going to be rolling them. 4 up is a success. Now, when I talk about difficulty, what are you thinking? A target number to hit maybe? Maybe removing the total amount of dice rolling? Abso-fucking-lutely not! Difficulty takes away successes. A difficulty 0 is a standard check, but even difficulty 1 removes one of your successful die. This does bring me to characters, as characters are the moving engines of die and are strange to say the least, because you're not playing Sir Galencourt of Mistenren, you're playing Todd, playing Sir Galencourt of Mistenren, sort of. Remember, this is an isekai story at its core, so you're taking the role of an isekai person, which does lead to a complicated situation when it comes to classes. Each one of the classes is assigned its own special playbook and die. They have exclusive control over that die's special functions, and no one else is allowed to play with their special dicely bits. In total, there are 5 classes to play. The Dictator is about being an asshole and manipulating the emotions of everyone involved. Your playbook gives you more opportunities to be a dick and use your D4 to be a bigger dick. You can actually remove the Dictator. The Fool is a berserker rogue and uses a D6 to do wacky stuff. Who cares? Emotion Knights use the power of emotions to draw power into themselves, venting it out in a rash, uncontrolled fury, and they also use D8s to bash skulls in. The Neo is a cyberpunk character in a fantasy world, except they use the money from fucking people because they suck. Finally, Godbinder uses a D12 to call upon, cut deals with, and manipulates the technically written in gods of the setting. Now, there is another class though, the GM, as they have the ability to manipulate the game and make everyone's life not fun. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, alright, lots of toys to play with, alright? No. Each of the classes has a fairly rigid map, I guess, of advancements they are allowed to take. Some of these character sheets may be 3 pages long, but you won't be dealing with most of those rules as you advance. Oh yeah, advancement. Everything I just told you, it's actually bullshit. The campaign is actually divided into the real way to play and the campaign way to play. Real play is built for 2 to 4 sessions max, or just a one-shot. You'll get maybe 1 power as a toy to play with, which a campaign outright tells you that you won't get everything, and each region will level you up by 1. Your attributes are already fairly low and uninspired. They're going to be stuck at 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2 until you hit level 3, 6, 9, 12, etc., which will then increase them by 1. So your core attributes aren't going to be changing that much, and your ability are kind of strange. All of this mixed with the heavy structure of the ritual segment, most of the book isn't actually game, it instead is how to play the game and setting up scenarios and imaginary social groups to start playing die. Even things like the GM having to distribute the dice themselves and in turn playbooks to various players. Rules as written, they're not actually supposed to choose what you're going to be playing. And that structure even extends to its ending. ending, because there's a very particular ending where the players, excluding those who have died, have to vote to stop playing. They stay, they leave, they vote. Die is a confusing game. It's a game stuck so far its own ass, it's managed to become a human Klein bottle. The ideas are there, though. Emotion Knights are cool, Dictators are neat, the entire idea of characters being tied to certain die with their own gimmicks, good idea. It's just everything else. At the end of the day, ask yourself, do you like Die the comic book? If you do, and I mean you really gotta like it, then you might find some enjoyment here. But if you just want to sit around a table with your friends and shitpost a little bit, then this isn't really going to be fun for anybody involved. My name is Notepad and this was Die the RPG. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Many thanks to the cryptozoological horrors who pay me in fairy gold to keep me going. Godspeed, good luck, and never split the party.
Don't you know you never split the party? Clerics in the back, keep those fighters hale and hearty. The wizard in the middle, where he can shed some light. And you never let that damn thief out of sight.